I don't know what I'm going to talk about right now. And recently my emotions have been going up and down, and I don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of it has to do with, I kind of got played by a girl, and so that felt quite awful. But I don't want to talk about that particular thing. I want to talk more about the things that I realize as a consequence of that. And so the biggest thing is my wanting to be comfortable by myself and to derive all my self-worth from myself and to not rely on others' validation for my self-worth. And so to explain more on this, I want to be able to be proud of who I am from my actions and the goals that I'm pursuing and just who I am rather than what other people think of me. And so, for example, if somebody doesn't like me, that shouldn't affect my feeling of self-worth. However, at the moment, when somebody doesn't like me, I go crazy because I don't understand why don't they like me? Like, what did I do wrong? And I want to find that problem and fix it, which I think is a natural response, of course. But the issue with that is there will always be people that don't like you. You'll always have haters, or there'll always be other issues like this, and it's unavoidable. And so attaching your emotional health to something that is outside of your control is quite dangerous and self-sabotaging. And so our goal, when I say our goal, I mean my goal, is to fix this issue by deriving that self-worth from myself instead. And so I, as a man, want to get very comfortable being alone. Right now I live alone, my home, and you know, it's some getting used to not having roommates around and living abroad without family. And sometimes, you know, like, of course I have friends, but maybe some of them are kind of like friends that are acquaintances, and so we're not like super close. So I do feel lonely, yeah. And so when you feel lonely as a person, you want to find a significant other. And the issue with that, though, is there will be problems with them, and then your emotions will go up and down like this. And yes. So instead, I want to focus just on myself. I want to focus on improving myself into the best version I can be, and to love myself, yes, and to drive all of my happiness from me pursuing my goals. So, for example, if I want to become financially secure by developing my career, or if I want to become more fit and look like an anime protagonist, all of these things I think are better sources of self-worth than other people's opinion of you. And so that is what this video is about today. I just want to share that with you and my thoughts on that. I want to be able to be somebody who just pursues their passions with vigor and to not worry about what other people think, and to be able to, let's say, oh, this week I'm gonna move to a new city. And to not be so attached to other people. Like, of course, it's important to have friends and to love them and to care about them. But you also have to realize that truly we are alone in this world. It's a terrifying thought to think about, but nobody will be with us forever. And that is such a terrifying thing for me. And like a terrifying thing to think about. And it makes me very... like the existential crisis, you know, like the fact that everything will come to an end. I mean, of course, like, we know our lives will come to an end, but when you think about relationships and family and friends, it's a much harder thing to accept, I think, personally, because I will get very emotionally invested, and when it breaks off, it causes a lot of problems for me. And that is life, though. So instead of getting so attached, I should keep some distance, I think, at least for now. Yeah. And I talked to ChatGPT on how to do this. You know, like I have some compulsive things where when I like somebody, or not even like a relationship, but even just a friend maybe, or sometimes my behavior will change and I'll become more desperate and needy, which is not my normal self. And that will cause a plethora of issues, and it's just not who I am, nor is it who I want to be. And so that is something to address and fix. Anyways, I'm starting to ramble now. This video is basically just to point out the fact that we should derive our self-worth and be content by ourselves. We should derive our self-worth from ourselves, and we should be content by ourselves, and we should pursue our own goals by ourselves, and to accept being alone, because we truly are alone in this world. All relationships will end. Friends, family, everything. It's a terrible fact to accept, but it's important to realize and to understand and to accept, and to take relationships with gratitude. Be grateful that they're in your life at this moment, and to really cherish the moment, but don't cling on to it. Yes. Anyways, that's it for my video. Bye-bye.